Hi everybody, it's June 22nd, 2024, and I'm on my way back to Coquitlam from Maple Ridge, British Columbia, where I just had my weekly Weight Watcher meeting, which went very well. It's a beautiful day here in British Columbia. It's quite warm for BC. So I'm posting these videos as a video journal of my recovery from the traumatic killing of my brother, Paul Kierans, on April 23rd, 2024, after 588 days of him being isolated and confined by his group home. His group home has been paid by the British Columbia taxpayer, that's you. If you're a BC taxpayer, and unfortunately, I'm asking the government to terminate its contracts with L'Arche. So L'Arche, I terminated my visits with my brother, my twice weekly visits with him, when I complained about a forged and fraudulent power of attorney. I discovered that on February 1st of 2021, they say that my brother signed a document signing away all his civil rights to my 81-year-old nun sister, who is a nun with the religious community, the charitable, tax-free religious community, wealthier than, with more money than God, the Sisters of St. Joseph of Sault Ste. Marie, and 4,000 kilometers away in North Bay, Ontario. So after I discovered that L'Arche had appointed her, my brother's decision maker, I complained to the courts, and they said the public guardian and trustee had to investigate my complaint. The judge said that, and but the public guardian trustee of BC never did investigate the complaint. And my sister ultimately, by hiring 2 law firms and spending a lot of money, I estimate about $400,000 tax-free money, which will all be written off as a charitable tax expense, she got custody or guardianship of my brother Paul, and she terminated my visits with him at the demand of L'Arche, as I said, for 588 days, 10 hours and 15 minutes before he died. I was allowed a 10-minute phone call with him once a week. He was my only relative left in the lower mainland of British Columbia. I have another sister who lives on Vancouver Island. So I believe I watched my brother be killed. I believe my sister did medical assistance in dying on Paul. He, in the first few visits that I was allowed with him at Burnaby General Hospital, remember that, Burnaby General Hospital, he appeared to be recovering remarkably. He had grabbed a book from my hand and started turning the pages. He squeezed my hand when I said my name. And then all of a sudden, he took a terrible turn he just looked to me as when I applied to restore my visits with him. I was in court on Monday, April 22nd in the morning. And when I returned to the hospital in the afternoon, my sister said, "Say goodbye to Paul, he's dying." She didn't look me in the eye. She's an evil, evil person. And I believe what she did was she told the hospital staff to kill Paul by sedating him and administering pain medications. So I don't know if you're not from Canada, you should know that Canada changed the law in 2015 to allow disabled people to be killed by the government. And Canada kills, when I last checked, about 20 people a day, including offering death, what they call medical assistance in dying, made to veterans who are struggling. And Canada pays doctors using taxpayer funds to kill about 20 people a day. And I stopped counting when 40,000 Canadians had been killed by the state. Canada does not have capital punishment, so if you're a criminal, you can't be killed by the state. That was outlawed in 1999. But the government of Canada kills about 20 innocent civilians a day. And I believe that's what happened with Paul. Now, the important distinction that you could imagine how traumatic it is to watch medical staff kill your loved one right in front of your eyes, which is what I believe I saw. I was trained as a psychologist. I worked as a psychologist for the government of BC for 3 years. So, I know how medical staff are expected to act and how people are expected to respond. I've had 2 kids. I've had, medical, I've been in hospital myself with serious medical issues. So I believe the medical staff sedated my brother to death right in front of my eyes. He was struggling. The look in his eyes, we communicated a lot with eye contact, and the look in his eyes was that he wanted to live. He wanted to be given the chance to recover. And the vast majority of people who suffer a stroke do recover. It's not a death sentence. Having a stroke in Canada with proper medical intervention is by no means a death sentence. And he wanted to recover, and he wanted to visit with me, and he wasn't allowed either of those things. So Canada's taken a very dark turn for the worse. When you start killing your vulnerable people, it's, there's some people that just like to kill. And the doctors on my brother's ward had that gleam in their eye, like Clifford Olson or Willie Picton. They like it. They like that power. So I don't know if you can see those mountains behind me.
Next stop, Street.
And I've complained to the coroner. I haven't made a secret of this. I've complained to the coroner, and they said because a medical doctor signed off on Paul's death, there's nothing they can do. But I've gone back and I've complained again, and I've complained to the College of Physicians and Surgeons, and to the police. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm slowly recovering from the trauma. I've been referred to a trauma counselor by my family doctor, and she's been very helpful. But you can imagine, would I want to impress upon people? I don't think people understand what it's like to watch a loved one being killed by medical staff before your very eyes, and that's what I saw at Burnaby General. Paul wasn't dying, he was recovering until they stepped in. They withdrew all medical support for him. They took away his respirator. They took away, so he couldn't breathe. They took away his catheters. They didn't feed him. And they gave him more than the recommended doses of painkillers when he was in no pain at all. My sister, because she couldn't possibly have him recover. I mean, if he recovered, then she'd have to stay in British Columbia, and she can't. She has to live at her convent at the Sisters of St. Joseph of Sault Ste. Marie. So Paul had no choice but to die. Yet there was no option for her but that he die. And by golly, he did die. So I'm slowly recovering from this trauma. As you know, my sister's lawyer have brought on an application to have me declared a vexatious litigant, and if they're successful, I won't be able to defend myself in court. So we were in court. There's going to be a 5-day hearing on February 18th. So please continue to support us. Pray for us. Go to your temple, your gurdwara, your synagogue, your mosque, your church. Pray for us. Contribute to our GoFundMe account. We're down to, I think, our last $43 in our GoFundMe account, and my application for leave to appeal to the Supreme Court of Canada of the decision appointing my 81-year-old nun sister 4,000 kilometers away is just pending. We should get the answer very shortly, and so I'll need to hire a lawyer for that. Please contribute to our GoFundMe account. Pray for us, contribute to our GoFundMe account, and copy and paste the email that I'll put in the description box for this video and send it from your email address right away. So 2 of those things don't cost a penny. Praying for us and contributing or sending an email, copying and paste the email, or write your own email to whoever you think might be able to help. The email that I've drafted is just a suggestion. So right now we're just going to go over the Pitt River Bridge. I'll let you have a look at that. This is one of the best salmon rivers in the world. So that's it for now, everybody. Again, remember, you know the drill. Pray for us. Contribute to our GoFundMe account. All you have to do is click on the GoFundMe link in the description box for this video. Copy and paste the email that I'll put in the description box for the video and send it off to the decision makers who can make sure that this never happens again to any other poor Canadian.